Hey YouTube, Christian Pepper Gal here. Today I'm going to be making some meals in a bag. The meals in the bag that I'm going to be making today will be a breakfast bowl meals in a bag. It's really an omelet just put in a bag to take hiking, backpacking, camping, or to put in your bug out bag or for long-term food storage. So why don't you come along with me and see how I do it. We're going to start out with, I'm using a Mylar bag. This is a 1 pint bag. It has a Ziploc on it, and it also opens at the bottom. Didn't want to work for me, little booger. Okay, it opens up at the bottom so that you can actually like set it down and it stays standing. So it's really nice. This is a very thick 7mm Mylar bag, and they're my favorite ones. Okay, so we're going to start out with this, and I have labels here that have the instructions for rehydrating and cooking the meals on them. So I'm going to take one of those labels off, put it on the outside of the bag. If you don't have labels, it's okay to just go ahead and take a marker and write it on the bag, just so you have the instructions with it. The next thing is we have our ingredients. And all of these ingredients in these jars actually came in like the number 10 size cans of Augustin Farms freeze-dried foods. Here's an example. This one, the bacon bits came in, and that's these. And I've put them in the jars to store them safely, because once you open up these cans, the food then is only good for a year if you leave them in the can. So I put them in the jars, sucked all the air out of them using my vacuum sealer and the jar attachment on it, so that I can keep them longer and have them readily available and still shelf stable when I use them for projects like this, the meals in the bag, or whatever I use them for, whether it's recipes at home or what. So that way they stay shelf stable. We have powdered cheese, powdered eggs, dehydrated onions, dehydrated bacon bits, and dehydrated diced potatoes. However, these potatoes are ones that I did dehydrate myself. So the first thing we're going to start with is I'm going to grab a little baggie. It's a zipper baggie, snack size. And in this baggie, I'm going to put the powdered cheese and the powdered scrambled eggs. We'll keep them separate from the other ingredients, and you'll see why later on. Okay. So in here, I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of the powdered cheese. And then we're going to add the powdered scrambled eggs to the powdered cheese. We're going to put in 1/4 cup of the powdered eggs. that's it for the eggs. I'm going to go ahead and close this baggie up. I'm not going to zip it. I'm just going to close it and set it aside for now. The next thing I'm going to do is in the Mylar bag, we're going to place the remaining ingredients. I'm going to put in 1 teaspoon of dehydrated onions. Get the bag ready here. And yes, I talk to myself a lot. Then we're going to add 1/4 cup of the diced potatoes. Grab the wrong thing there. Okay, that's the dehydrated diced potatoes. I love opening these jars. As soon as you open them, you can smell what's inside, and it smells so good. The next thing we're going to add is the bacon bits. Whoops. The recipe calls for 1/4 cup of bacon bits. Excuse me, 1/8 cup of bacon bits. But since I don't have an 1/8 of a cup measuring cup, I'm just going to fill this one 1/2 cup, 1/2 full. And that's it. That's all we need to do for this breakfast bowl meal in a bag. All the ingredients we need anyway. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that plastic baggie full of the eggs and cheese that I set aside, and then I'm going to put it inside the Mylar bag with the other ingredients. So there we've got it. Everything we need to have a breakfast bowl meal in a bag. Next, I need to put together like 4 or 5 more of these. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll come back and show you how we're going to seal the Mylar bags so that they get the best shelf life they can. So I'll be right back. And I am back. I have everything put into 5 different bags. I have 4 that's going to go into our bug out bags, and then 1 that I'm going to eat for a meal one of these days soon, like within the next day or 2. And I can show you how to rehydrate it and use it on the trail, or camping, or backpacking, or just off your shelf in the food storage. So first thing we've got is I have oxygen absorbers here. And the oxygen absorbers need to go into 1 each in these bags. These are 300 cc size oxygen absorbers. You would only need to probably use a 200, but I have 300 on hand. So I'm going to go ahead and take out 5 of these. Put the lid back on them, and they'll seal themselves in the canning jar, so they stay fresh and ready to use next time. So I'm going to go ahead and dump one in each bag. Make sure they go down inside. Oh, and something that I forgot to tell you at the beginning of the video is that you can also use vacuum sealer bags for these meals in a bag. So it doesn't have to be Mylar bags. I just chose Mylar bags because I recently heard that they have a longer shelf life than the vacuum sealer bags. I'm not sure about that. I don't have anything to back that up, but I'm just going with these just for now in case. Okay. All right, the next thing you'll need is a curling iron or a house iron. You know, the kind that you use on an ironing board to iron clothes, at least those of us that are old enough to remember. But this curling iron I bought at Walmart for around $15, and it's been used for nothing other than sealing vacuum sealer bags. So I've got it plugged in. It's turned on high because you want to get the highest heat you can from them. I'm waiting while it warms up. The next thing before we use that, I kind of got off track. That happens a lot. Anyway, the next thing we're going to do is wipe the insides of the bags, just in case any powders from the foods that I put in here attached itself to the inside of the bag where we're going to be sealing it at. So I'm just using a dry paper towel to do that. Another thing I forgot to tell you about at the beginning of the video, because this just hasn't been my day for videotaping, is that I will have the recipe for these breakfast in a bowl, meal in a bag. It has a link in the comments in the description section down below. So it won't actually be in the comments, it'll be in the description section, that little box. Anyway, the recipe will have not only the ingredients and how to put them together like I've shown you so far today, but also it will have how to cook them over the camp stove and how to cook them at home in the microwave. Okay, now the next step we're going to do is take the curling iron, make sure it's all hot and everything, and then I'm going to go ahead and close up the zip lock. I'm going to squeeze out as much air as I can in here and then close the zip lock. And then I'm just going to get here where you can see what I'm doing. Is kind of hard. I'm just going to hold this up at the top to seal it. And I'm going to go on the other side and do the same thing. You want to make sure that you don't get down so far that you're sealing the zip lock onto these. And then there's a little section left there. I'm going to go ahead and, whoops, do that. Go over it a couple times just to make sure we got it hot enough and that they're sealing. And they are sealed. I don't know if you can see and tell the difference in how the top of it looks compared to being sealed down. Another thing, you want to make sure you don't get too far down with your sealing process, because it has those little tabs that are cut out, so you can just jerk them open and put your water inside here, and that's what we're going to do when I rehydrate these. So I'm going to go ahead and let you go for now. I'll finish up sealing the rest of these. And like I said, sometime over the next day or two, I'm going to go ahead and take one of these out and try it at home and show you how to rehydrate it or cook it or whatever you want to call it. In these, it's basically just rehydrating. So we're just going to add some water to them and let them sit. Actually, we're going to add boiling water and let them sit in that for 10, 12 minutes. And they should be ready to eat. So check back in a couple of days and that video should be ready for you to see. Until next time, happy prepping and God bless.